Hey, welcome back to Kult of Athena's YouTube channel. I'm your host, Tom. Today we're looking at the Balaur Arms Irish Gallowglass Greatsword. This thing is an absolute beast. Take a look at some specs on it, up close looks, and look at a little bit of movement with this greatsword. Okay, just first impressions on the Balaur Arms Irish Gallowglass Greatsword. The obvious one is the size. This one being greatsword. Outside of the scabbard, this one is 51 1/8 inches. 51 1/8 inches. We have a 38-inch blade with a high carbon steel blade. This one comes with a wood cord leather wrap scabbard. You're gonna get a lot more up close looks on this one, but it's a nice brown. The brown is almost the same as the handle, but it's not so off that it's kind of like off-putting. And we have good morning light right now, so it looks really nice. So I'm gonna set that down for right now. So 38 inches of blade length, 51 1/8 of overall length. Edge quality, if you've never cut with a Balaur Arms one or you've never just held one in your hand, edge quality is great, especially for price point. Balaur Arms has been really upping their game, and you do not need a sharpening surface to add for this one. Just the sheer weight of that cutting through, you don't really need that, especially if you're doing cut testing with tatami mats or water bottles and things like that. But if you're looking at like, okay, I want something that actually is good quality on the edge, still don't need it. So their factory edge is great. If you're coming around with these larger cuts that's associated with, quite frankly, crowd control and other combat things like smashing through pikes, smashing through spears and things like that, you don't need an edge, you don't need an extra sharpening on that. Having the swoops at the end, that way the blade is not going to bounce if there was some sort of bind and a parry. And even, quite frankly, if these larger cuts that greatswords are associated with, you may not want to bind. You might maybe just that dude who clears everything out for everybody else to be able to get in behind spears and behind pikes. Something that's impressive with the point of balance and just the design of this, the engineering that goes into this one from Balaur Arms, is that, in my opinion, if you have sword training, you should be able to train with this with a single hand. Not saying that's going to be the primary for a greatsword, because that's not, but it should be well balanced enough to where if I want to go through cut and thrust, I'll give you a side angle with it. If I want to go through thrust and cut exercises with two hands, I should be able to go into that with one hand. And it shouldn't be like absolutely destroying my wrist. And that's really not just the weight, but also the point of balance and your overall conditioning from your own martial arts training, from your own fencing training any day. Let's do some super up close looks of this one in the scabbard and out of the scabbard. All right, let's take a look at a little bit of movement with this greatsword. I move primarily through that reverse cut. That's a fan favorite when it comes to this one. I didn't do a lot of pivoting and turning on this one because I don't have as much training in the greatswords, and this thing is razor blade sharp. So didn't want to take that risk. I didn't get to put as much time into training with this one as I wanted to. But, you know, we have those different wheeling cuts and all that. The one that I'm most familiar with is that reverse cut. So let's take a look at a little bit of footage of moving around with the Irish Gallowglass greatsword. Hey, thanks for joining me for this review of the Balaur Arms Irish Gallowglass greatsword. This thing is a beast. It's a really well-made blade, from the width of it to the handle quality and even all the way down to the aesthetics of the pommel. To pick this one up, click the link in the description below this video to buy this one today, add it to your collection. These are super easy to maintenance and super easy to really be a unique part of your collection. Whether you're gonna do cutting with it or it's something that you're gonna do for reenactments or even just add to your collection, it's gonna be on a sweet sword stand. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to know when new reviews come out on the channel. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram. I'm your host, Tom, for Kult of Athena's YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next review.